کاوش پلاس.
By the way, I am really shocked. It's the only way I can put it, that India, which claims to be neutral and sympathetic, at least to the humanitarian crisis, is negotiating a deal with Russia for 12 Su-30 aircraft right now as we speak. I am absolutely shocked. Not only that, the Financial Times, which is not an American newspaper, has said that this is going to be a rupee for ruble deal. Now, come on. You're accusing NATO of being weak? What is India doing?
I shall only respond to you very briefly to your unnecessary attack on India. I do not understand anymore, and it's becoming frustrating that any discussion regarding this war becomes a discussion on India. Well, I will say it one more time to you, Dove. India is going to take care of India. India is going to look after India's interests. And our economy is growing 3 times the pace or 4 times the pace of the American economy. More and more Americans are living under the poverty line. They are not able to make ends meet, right? And more Indians are rising economically. And please, this is not our war. Dove, you are the ones with the biolabs in Ukraine. You are the ones, you know, Joe Biden's son was doing all kinds of business in Ukraine. You are vested in Ukraine. You are pushing Ukraine. You are encouraging Ukraine. And yesterday, your president went and said, listen, Zelensky, if you want to give up territory, it's your choice. Listen, Zelensky, if you want to break up your country and give a little bit of it to Russia, it's your choice. You have hung the Ukrainians out to dry, Dove, and how dare you question India all the time? You've hung them out to dry. Maxim, your basic point is that Russia is very technologically, economically weak, but that doesn't answer my question. The fact of the matter is, on the ground, there are more and more countries which are joining hands with Russia. I mean, that is a fact. I mean, either, let's be clear about it. It may not be because of Russia's strengths. It may equally be, Victor, because nobody is afraid of America anymore. America's heyday is over. America's sphere of influence is being questioned. North Korea is testing ICBMs. Iran has undermined American sanctions. American sanctions have completely and utterly failed against Iran. Am I right? Am I wrong? Mr. Professor Marandi is there in Tehran. He's joining us today.
Yes, I agree completely. And when we look at Europe, after the Cold War, there was an opportunity for the whole of Europe to come together. What did the United States do? They lied to the Russians. They said that we won't expand eastward, and they did. For what purpose? Russia wanted desperately to become a part of Europe. I would say pathetically so. I mean, it was just too much. But still, they tried to undermine Russia. Then as they went eastwards, then the coup in Ukraine, the biolabs, as pointed out, the support for Nazi groups, the same thing that they did in Syria, the same thing that they did in Nicaragua by supporting those Contra-fascists in Nicaragua. They supported ISIS and Al-Qaeda, the same extremist terrorists that now they're supporting in Ukraine. Obviously, all of Ukraine is not Nazi, but neither was Syria. These groups are so vicious that they intimidate the rest of society. So when the United States is constantly invading country after country, when it is trying to provoke countries like Russia or undermine countries like Russia, how in the world do Western countries and NATO countries expect us to have any sympathy for them?
بیشتر بدانیم